Epilepsy warning, do not watch this video or play this game if you have epilepsy. With that being out of the way, welcome to Her Name Was Fire. We'll dive right in, and we're going to do Vitality at the start for our Essence, because we can't afford any of these yet, because I haven't played enough to unlock them yet. So we only have +1 max hit points. We click Start Run, and we start with Denial. So the way this games work is most of these, roguelike shoot-'em-up games, Vampire Survivor style games, you need to, you don't need to manually attack. With this one, you do. You have to manually click every time you want. When I was practicing it for like 20 minutes, I actually busted out an auto clicker and used that. But for the video, I won't do that. Mostly because what happened multiple times when I was practicing is when this pops up, the auto clicker would accidentally click one, and I didn't get to look at my options for my upgrades because we just leveled up. So our first choice here is Bullet Pulse. Shoot a wave of 4 bullets after every 5 fireballs. It actually is pretty decent, especially when you upgrade it. The Infusion, 10% chance of infusing enemies with a bomb for 5 seconds. Infuse enemies explode in death, also good. The Scavenger increases base pickup area by 30% for your experience. It's alright. I think we'll go for the Infusion for the bombs. For the bombsies, yes. Also, the enemy variety at the start, it takes a little too long. The game is a work in progress. I don't think it's fully released yet. Don't quote me on that. Downloaded it yesterday and just forgot instantly if it was released or a demo. I think it's a relatively new demo. It shows a lot of potential, but it needs to not take several minutes for the second enemy type to appear, which it currently does. Fireballs have a 20% chance of invoking a sunburst on each hit. That's decent. Increased movement speed by 20%, also good. Fireballs go through enemies, dealing 60% less damage after each hit. That's really good. We're gonna get that. Piercing, very good. Remember, I need to manually click. If the developer watches this video, I would highly recommend. I think it's gonna explode or not. I would highly recommend that you make it so you don't have to manually click every time you want to fire, or at least put an option in the menus so that you can toggle it, so that way the player can decide if they want to either manually click it every single time or have it auto fire. Increase move speed, combustion, the 20% chance of next spell being instant cast. Sorry, my brain's not working great today. I'm not commentating well on either of the videos I've recorded so far. Movement speed while cast increased by 20%. That's pretty good. Being able to move faster while casting is pretty nice. But there actually is a option in the menu here to click to fire, but think about it. It doesn't work the way you think it would. It's basically click twice to fire. Click once to charge it up, and then click again to fire it. So it's not working the way you think. It's it should say click twice to fire instead of click once to fire. I'm not sure why the exploding guys aren't actually exploding. I think that might be a bug or a glitch. Those guys are they're like that. They should go boom. A new server has appeared. Defeat server. I don't know what that means. I did a 15-minute run, and I never encountered a server to beat. Is that a character or this, or is this is this entire last 20 minutes and beat it? I don't know what it means. 50% chance to unfold blazing wings that damage enemies. Increases cast speed by 20%. 20% chance of next spell being instant cast. I think this it's not actually that strong. It just shoots fiery things to your side that do barely damage. Let's get cast speed. Normally I would like to showcase more of the different weapons, look at this weapon, look at that weapon, check it out. But the thing is, it gets a little bit harder, and 3/4 of the weapons are just really weak compared to the other 25%. So I want to make sure we actually get ourselves strong enough to last when the difficulty curves. It starts off easy and then the difficulty curve spikes. Here we go. Here's some better upgrades. Berserker, 30% chance of deploying knives, which will multiply damage on each hit. Grants invincibility while active. I think the real value of that is invincibility. The knives themselves don't do a lot of damage. Dragon, 40% chance of breathing fire for 3 seconds after cast. That's really good, especially if you fire your fireballs really quickly. Hunter, 50% chance of releasing a volley of arrows after casting. Haven't actually tried that yet, but I think this one, we gotta get this one. It's the fire, it's look at that damage, and it's it's hitting so many of them. It's only 6 per hit, but it fires, it hits them a bunch. And if you keep spamming your attacks pretty aggressively, it you can keep it going almost constantly to an extent, unless you get a little unlucky wave. So it's really good for getting them going. I really don't like having to manually click my attack every single time. I despise that with a passion. That needs to be fixed if this game's gonna do well. because I'm not the only one who's going to hate that. 15% chance of infusing enemies with the bomb, but the bomb, I think the bomb is glitched. It was working in my previous practice run, but here it's not, so I'm going to pass on it. The wing, 50% chance to unfold blazing wings to damage enemies. It's not that strong. The momentum, 30% chance of 3-second speed burst after casting. None of these are great. I guess we'll just go for the wing to show it off, since I don't really have much other great choices, but all it is, like, that's it right there. Is like little bullets that go to the side. They only do 8 damage, and you know, they don't hit that many enemies. Just you can see why I skipped it. It's not that strong. It's not that great. Also, you do have a dash. You can space a dash or right-click the dash. Choice is yours. I tend to use space. I'm not used to right-click being my dash button in these games. The Sunburst is actually halfway decent. You know, it's like a little random attack. Sometimes it misses, though. The Crawler movement speed all cast increased by 40%. I think 1 is fine on that. The Vault, gain plus 1 max hit points. I think we're good on hit points. We'll get the Sunburst. The Sunburst is actually not terrible, especially when there's more enemies on the screen. Just every so often when you attack, it'll do that little, you know, burst of sunlight from the sky. I think the enemies get stronger over time, because right now, I think I was doing 60 on my standard hit. That wasn't a crit. Now it's 50. I think eventually it gets down to like 20. So I think the enemies get tougher over time. Which is weird. Normally, like normally like their hit points stay the same, but it's just a little bit different. Crawler, Bullet Pulse. I want Bullet Pulse actually, rather than upgrading Sunburst. Get those wave of 4 bullets after every 5 fireballs is actually pretty good when you get really surrounded. I'm actually a fairly big fan of that, but we're doing a pretty good job clearing so far. I wonder if defeat server just means like beat the level, like, and you beat the level by lasting a certain amount of time or beating a certain number of enemies that's like hidden behind the scenes. There's a lot to be there's a lot left to mystery with this game demo. It's not very clear. I like how the 4 bullets kind of synced up with the little one thing. Dragon, increasing the dragon damage and range increase and more odds. That's probably the one we're gonna go for sure. Dragon. So I think that's probably the best upgrade. How much damage you can do now? I need you to trigger. It's doing 8 damage now. That's great. And just hits them again and again and again. We're murking them. We're doing so well. We're probably going to get a second enemy type appearing probably next minute or so. I think is when they appear, around the 5-minute mark, which is good. I think it does take too long for new enemies to appear. And, like, it goes for the first 5 minutes just this one enemy type, and then like over the next 5 minutes, like 3 enemy types are introduced. So like the pacing of which new enemies are introduced, it needs a little bit of work. But I like the music. I like the vibe. Apart from having to manually click every time I want to attack, I like the way the game feels and plays. I think there's a lot of potential here, just needs a little bit more love. Increase cast speed by a lot, that's pretty good. Have a chance of spelling insta-cast, that's also good. Bullet Pulse shooting 6 waves, also good. I think for now, we'll go for the better cast speed, because that combines nicely with Dragon. There we go, okay, at the 4-minute mark, a new enemy appeared right there, that one right there. It moves the same as all these ones, they just, a little more hit points, I think. It looks different, it's bigger. But it's not too challenging, but I wonder if, man, my commentary is not, sorry. I've had an off day for commentary, and I'll affect 2 days worth of videos for you guys because I record 2 days at a time. Sorry, it's okay, we'll be alright. We'll live. We'll live. We're all allowed to have our, like, you know, our B-tier commentary days, right? Yeah, that guy up there, he's just a little bit tankier, I think, than these other guys. I wonder if he explodes when he dies. I mean, that should be my, like, these guys should be exploding for my ability. Maybe it's starting to work, I don't know. Base pickup area. Fireballs have a chance to apply burn. It does a little bit of damage over time, not a lot. I mean, it's the only damage-based thing I have here, so I'll get it. I'll take it. I will take the damage, and I will dish it out. Yeah. People are like, oh, CG, if your commentary is just bad, just start the video over. Sometimes I do. But I also record, you know, like, content for 4 channels, so it's, you know, I have to, like, balance. Can I really afford to spend, you know, 3 hours re-recording over and over and over again on a day where I'm having bad commentary when I've got 3 other channels to also record for that day? You know, it's a balance. I honestly wonder if I have too many channels. But I do like the idea of diversifying my content, so I'm committed to it. Alright, this is a blue card. I think it means it's special. 30% chance of casting 3 fireballs instead of 1, plus they'll pierce. The other ability is good. Blaze have a better chance to apply burn and has burn do more damage, or Sunburst has a better chance of hitting. I think I'll go for this one to give ourselves 3 fireballs. Now deal with the devil, I think is what they're trying to go for there. I'm not sure if you have invulnerability when you dash. It feels like most of the time when I dash through enemies, I don't take damage, but then sometimes I do. So I'm I'm not sure if it's like a glitch or the hitbox. I don't fully understand. It's just, I haven't played the game that much. Played the game for like 20 minutes, maybe 30, something like that. But we're doing all right here. We're pretty strong. I need to remember to like attack more often. Like this is the problem with having to like manually click. There we go. Now it's hard to keep my. I was doing a much better job at it. I was like, before I started using the auto clicker in the practice run, when I wasn't trying to keep a coherent train of thought and also trying to like rhythmically click my mouse to the beat. Yeah, so that definitely needs to be a feature added, like just auto fire. I don't know why they chose for manual fire. It's a weird choice. Increasing cast speed's also good. I mean, not as good since I forget to click, but it's also good for more drag and fire. I think would be good. Phantom fireballs do 30% less damage after each hit instead of negative 60%. I'm actually going to go for that because the phantom fireballs is the piercing. Basically, that's improving my pierce damage a lot, which is great. Because the pierce damage is good. Pierce damage and fireballs is good. Sometimes I even shoot 3. I don't understand why. I guess the bomb explosion it's glitched. I don't think they're blown up. Maybe they are. I don't know. It's tripping. It's fine. Definitely feels like it's an early demo that's like a proof of concept, and it's looking pretty good, but definitely needs some love. The magician, 15% chance of shooting 4 swords after casting a fireball. I tried this and it didn't. Like, it barely ever fired, so it's not like a high priority. I tried this. It's alright, just a little extra movement speed. The wings aren't that great, so I guess we'll go for Magician. But 15% chance is pretty low. Might need to upgrade it a few times. There it goes. I mean, it's alright, but yeah, it's not quite the DPS boost we're looking for. We're doing alright here. Getting stronger. I would like to be able to, in this, run for the video here, figure out what the heck it means by defeat server. I'd love to know that. Is it just something that's not added to the game yet? Is it just like filler text while the game's still in development? It might just be filler text while the game's still in development. Maybe like eventually that's gonna say defeat a boss, and the boss just hasn't been added to the game yet. That would make a lot of sense. So it just says they just chose the word server for some reason. Maybe they're intending to mean that you're supposed to beat the all the enemies, beat the level, beat the map, beat the board, beat the server. Server's a weird choice. Server's more of like a you're hosting things, right? Momentum, move speed, dragon, probably a pretty good choice. Vault for hit points. We want the dragon, that way it gives us a better chance of it triggering and more damage in range. How much damage do you do now? I need you to fire first. And it's doing 10. Beautiful. It's so strong. It's so strong they're not even really feeling challenged yet. And that was kind of what I was hoping for. We practiced it for a bit and learned what the different things do, and figured out the strong ones and using the strong ones for video. I need to rhythmically click better, but honestly we're strong enough that it's not really mattering. I'm not rhythmically clicking very well. Alright. If the dev watches this and if you take only one thing away from my commentary, auto fire. Ain't nobody want to sit here and manually click their mouse, twice a second. Just auto fire. There's a reason every other Vampire Survivors game has auto fire. It's because it's better. It's just objectively better in every way, shape, and form. All this experience here, though. We're doing great. About to get another level up. And we got the Phantom. Ooh, the Phantom Fireballs, the ones that pass through the enemies, will now only do 10% less damage after each hit, which is fantastic. The Wing's not that great. Bullet Pulse is also a good choice, but I think you're fantastic. That way, every fireball I shoot through people just has just massively better pierce damage. It's going to be so good. And we're doing great. Haven't encountered the third enemy type. Oh, there. Oh, yes, we just did. Oh, I took a hit there because I was sloppy. We got a fireball dude down here. I was distracted by the fireball guy. There's this guy right here, right there. Fireballs. There we go. Third enemy type. Third enemy type coming in. Although I feel like last time when I encountered you, you were the fourth enemy type that I encountered, not the third. The orders slightly randomized, or maybe I'm remembering wrong. It's hard to say. I need to click better. Maybe I should turn on my auto clicker and just just do that, or just remember to click more. It's just hard to keep a good train. Maybe that's why my commentary is kind of struggling, is because I'm having to like try to remember to rhythmically click this while also trying to keep a coherent. See, and the worst thing is like you can't just hold it down. If I can't have auto fire, at least give me the option just to hold down the attack button. No, I have to like try and rhythmically click while trying to maintain coherent commentary. Why you do this to me, Dev? Why you do this? Why you like this? We are so strong though. We're like 9.5 minutes in, and we are not even struggling at all. We have made a monster of a build. An absolute destructor of enemies. The infusion, the bombs, as far as I can tell, are either not doing much or just not working. I don't need the speed. More bullets after my fireballs is good, and it makes them do more damage too, so anything that's going to boost my damage is desirable. My dudes are starting to come out more aggressively. I dashed and I took damage. I thought the dash was supposed to give me invulnerability flames, but invulnerability, but sometimes doesn't. It does using it before when I had like the daggers. When the daggers were on, it gave me invulnerability. I don't know, maybe. Maybe I need the daggers for like safety. Invulnerability would be good. Protect me, the daggers. Maybe that's what it was. While sometimes having vulnerability and sometimes not. Here's the fourth enemy type. These guys are a little more tanky. Alright, we're doing gray here. Well, I do not love being only down to 2 hit points. Ah! Oh, crap. That was just bad timing for you to shoot those at me. I was trapped next to those guys. Maybe I do need the daggers for, like, the invincibility frames, because that would be good. The run might end here, which is... Well, that's probably fine, though, because I remember fighting these guys for, like, at least a couple minutes and not seeing anything after them. I'm not sure how long they last for, but I feel like we're encountering them sooner in the run, so maybe it is just, like, kill a certain number of units before it happens. Chance of bursting on each hit, but I want them to... Oh, the sunburst. 25% chance of shooting, more chance of swords. Honestly, get the hit points. Gain +1 max hit points. I needed that to not die. Chill, dudes. Oh my god. Yeah, like it gets really hard. Not because like, oh, they're unbeatable, whatever, but just because they tend to spawn in so aggressively on you with very little paths to like what am I supposed to do there? Just get hit? Or I should dash there. Like that's the hard part now, is just like they I guess I should stop shooting back at there and start shooting forward to like carve my way. And you did like what do you do against that? Like it's just tough. I guess I needed more like I could just play better, I guess. But yeah, that's how this game works. Smash that like button if you like roguelike games and you want to see more of them on this channel. Let's go.